Hey there, Sheree here. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today to share a ton of stuff with you guys, okay? So this is going to be a long video. You might want to take a minute to save it to your watch later playlist in case you need to watch some and then come back to it to get through everything. I've had a really busy last several days. The garden is pumping out so much food. And so I've been harvesting, starting my preserving of the garden fresh things. I'm still doing some preservation of some store-bought items that I know we use a lot of in the winter. I'm also just doing like my normal winter prep. You know, I live in Minnesota. It gets very cold here. I've actually, all my adult life, lived in colder climates, with the exception of a couple years in Texas and a couple years in Dusseldorf, Germany. But I've lived in Massachusetts, upstate New York, Michigan, and now here. And we always have ice storms. We always have snowstorms. And so I just like to be prepared through those winter months so I'm not needing to run out to get like basic essentials that often. So it's just a really busy time for me right now. So I think this will probably be the only video that I get out this week. And then what I'm going to try to do is actually go live at some point over the weekend, maybe Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I might put a community poll up on the community tab to gauge from you guys what would be a better time. Because let me just tell you real quick what we're going to talk about today. I have an update on my Dress-A-Girl projects. I have a bunch of makes, so an update on things that I've sewn for myself this week. I want to give you guys a sneak peek of some of the other prizes that I'm going to be giving away. We have a giveaway in this video. I have a small fabric haul. And I have a little garden update for you guys. So yeah, this video is going to be packed with a lot of stuff. I will try to put this timestamps in as well in case you want to jump around to certain segments. So let's start. What are we going to start with, Sheree? Let's start with the Dress-A-Girl update. Let me grab the dress. Okay, so last week I shared with you all that I would be participating in Project Dress-A-Girl this year. It's the first time for me. It's the second year that it's been going on. It's an initiative hosted by Mari from Mari Sews here on YouTube. And I think her Instagram channel, I said wrong in that last video, is Mari Sews Curves. But if you just find Mari Sews here on YouTube, you'll find all her social media handles. It's an initiative that she runs a lot of on Instagram. So a lot of the sewists are posting their pictures of the dresses that they're making on Instagram. But she also has a whole YouTube series going on as well, where she has guests putting up special tutorials and all those things. So definitely check out her channel if you want to learn more of the specifics about that. I shared with you guys some of the patterns that I would be using and some of the fabric that I pulled. In the first round were purple prints because then I could enter those also and support Michelle and her initiative for Sew Purple to End Alzheimer's Challenge. And so I cut out, I think, 6 different dresses using those purple fabrics, and I got one completely finished. Actually, last night, this is the first one I got finished. This is so cute. I'm going to share everything with you guys. I have a lot of strings that I need to cut off, but let me bring it a little closer so you guys can really see the fabric. So this is so sweet, I think. I love this fabric combination, combining 2 of my favorite designers. This Echinacea floral print is from Anna Maria Horner, and then this Hexie print is from Tula Pink, and they coordinate together perfectly. I mentioned to you guys, I love mixing designer collections. To me, makes it just a lot of fun. And so I really love how this turned out. You can see I got a lot of strings to cut off and deal with, but I'll probably get all of them sewn up, and then I'll sit one evening with some movie or YouTube video on and just listen and go and clip off my ends and get them ironed up so I can post them on Instagram and then send them off to Mari. I'm going to try to have all my dresses finished and mailed off by the end of next week. They need to arrive to her by, I think, October 8th. Again, she has all the details. I don't want to mess up anything. But I want to go ahead and get mine photographed and out. I'm still waiting for my labels to get in, my Project Dress a Girl labels, so that I can sew those on the exterior of the pockets. But yeah, hopefully they'll be here soon and I'll be able to get those sewn on and get those mailed off to her. But I'm loving how the dresses are coordinating. I like to work in batches with this kind of stuff. So I cut out all the purple. I got my serger thread changed. I got a bunch of bobbins filled, and then I'm just sitting and sewing and sitting and sewing. And so yeah, that's a lot of fun. And now I'm going to share with you guys quickly 2 more patterns that I'm using. I've actually already cut out a couple dresses from these 2 patterns, and I've pulled some more fabric to possibly use for these patterns as well. Not all of them, but just some things I'm thinking about. So let me show you all 2 more patterns that I'm using for Project Dress a Girl. You might be interested in picking them up if you don't already have them. This first one is, they're very similar to each other actually. This first one is Simplicity 9126. Really, really cute. And it has a lot of different variations. This pattern also includes that darling sun hat. I had this pattern. This is not a new pattern. I think it's one that they reprinted with their new packaging, because I know that I've used this pattern before to sew for some little girls. This one goes in sizes from 6 months up to size 4. And so, yeah, I pulled some different kind of prints to use for that one. And then the second one, again, is very similar, just with some sleeve variations. This one actually has a tie also that ties in the back of the dress. This is Simplicity 2377. This one goes in the size range from a size 3 up to a size 8. So if you're looking for something for a bigger girl size range, check out this pattern, Simplicity 2377. And so I've already cut out, I cut out view A and I cut out view B already. Yeah, so I'm excited to share these with you all soon after I get things all sewn up. But let me show you also a few more fabrics that I pulled that I'm considering using for the next round of dresses. And so these are some fabrics actually that I've just had in my stash for a while. Most of them are leftovers from fabric that, from projects rather, where I made my daughter something or made somebody else something, and I just still had yardage left over. I usually wash all my fabric before I sew it. So these are pieces that have already been washed and they've just been sitting on my shelf. I have one separate shelf that I keep like all these kinds of fabrics that are typically for like quilts or for little girls projects. And so I just kind of scanned that shelf and pulled out a few. There are a lot more in there that I'm thinking, I don't know. There's only been so much time I have to sew dresses, but man, I think next year I'm probably gonna just keep sewing dresses and like hold on to them for next year, because I have a lot of these sweet fabrics that I would love to sew up. But anyway, I pulled this one rose print. This is long out of print. Let me see on the selvage where I may have gotten this from. So if you want to go on a hunt, this is called Butterfly Kisses by Robin Pandoff. I used to be a huge Robin Pandoff fan. I'm pretty sure she was under Free Spirit, like when my daughter was a toddler. I made my daughter a dress with this fabric, I know for sure. And so this is just a leftover bit that I have from there. But I used to make her a lot of those like Kath Kidson, yeah, Robin Pandoff, all those really sweet, rosy kind of vintage looking print fabrics. I used to sew with those a lot for my daughter, for those sweet little dresses. So I'm gonna go ahead and use up that one. Then I'm pretty sure this is one that's just from Joann's. I can just kind of look at it. Joann's used to have a lot of really nice 100% cotton calico prints. And this was one that I probably got on sale back when she was little, and bought a bunch of it and made a dress or used it for something, and I have a lot of it left over. So I'll use that. Here's another one I made my daughter a dress with when she was younger, and I just still have a lot of it left. It actually has a, it has different kinds of skirts printed all over it with some flowers. It's a really fun print, and I thought this could be cute for some of the older girls to make some larger size dresses and get this used up. I'm sure this is also just 100% cotton fabric that I picked up from Joann's at some point, but again, a long time ago. And this one too is from a long time ago. This is from 2005. Well, look at how cute this is. It has ice cream all over it, and then it has the word "We all scream for ice cream" printed on it. It's really super cute, and it has little cherries and sundaes and ice cream cones. Yeah, I love this fabric. This is something that I definitely made my daughter something with also. And I actually, when she was young, when we lived in upstate New York, people would just see her out, you know, they would see us out, and I mean, almost every day she wore something that I made. And people would ask, like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Long story short, I started doing a lot of custom sewing for people. So I would sew clothes for their little girls. And then one woman reached out to me because she had found out about me. She owned a boutique in Saratoga Springs, downtown Saratoga Springs. And she asked me to make dresses that she would sell in her shop. And I used to sell dresses. I used to make dresses and blankets, and then I would just drop them off at her store, and she'd sell them, and you know, once a month I'd pick up a check. So so I have a lot of these kind of fabrics, and you know, that's the nice thing when you buy like really good cotton fabric and you store it properly, you know, it lasts and lasts. I mean, this is from 2005 and it just looks and feels brand new. So some of these fabrics, you know, I could keep on my shelf forever because they bring back such fond memories, but I'm really like excited to sew up more little girl dresses, over 15 years later, and use up some of these fabrics. So yeah, that took me down memory lane, kind of looking through that shelf of fabrics, like, oh, I remember this dress that I made, and I remember, you know, Leah still has actually, she has a couple bins of dresses and clothes that I made for her that she is keeping for her children, she says. So it's really sweet. I should share some of that stuff with you guys at some point. But anyway, here's some fabrics these are fabrics from my shop that I'm going to donate probably, you know, a yard and a half to make some dresses. So this print here is just, I have this in, I think 3 or 4 colorways. I picked up all the colorways that it came in. This is a Kaffe Fassett print. Kaffe is just a color master and one of my absolute favorite fabric designers. I got to meet him. He's just a really kind man. I got to meet him at Quilt Market a couple years. And in one year I had a booth and he came by. And so yeah, really cool. Just a really like kind demeanor. And I pick up almost all of his prints. This one here, I showed you this in the red with the orange and yellow. This is a beautiful kind of sky turquoisey blue with pink and purple. This is from Tula Pink's Curious and Curiouser print. So I thought that would be really pretty. I cut one of those dresses in the larger sizes. Actually this pattern here, I cut view A in that red one. And then I think I'm gonna make the same thing with this one. This just a big bold print, and so that whole skirt, you'll see that print, I think would be pretty. Here's another one from Tula Pink's Curiouser and Curiouser line. It has teacups all over it. So I thought this would be really sweet for one of the peasant style dresses also. I love all these colors. This is so pretty. I have this in a couple colorways. I'm definitely gonna do pink for Dress a Girl. And then the final one I pulled, this is so fun too. I love these cotton novelty prints. This one is cotton candy. It has pink cotton candy all over it. And then it has the word cotton candy and yum yum. It has those words printed and scattered throughout. And I personally just love pink and green together. I think this would be fun and lovely to sew up a dress for Project Dress a Girl. So those are the next fabrics that I'm thinking about. You'll see what I decided to go with next week when I share all my dresses before sending them off tomorrow. Okay, next up, let's do a sneak peek of some of the upcoming prizes that I'll start to give out next week. Okay, so the next week and the week after that, there are going to be a lot of giveaways coming. I want to give you a sneak peek at some of the items that I'll be giving away next week. Some of these will be in lives or in premieres, so you will need to be present in that video live and in person to win the prize, to participate in the giveaway, because it's going to be like an on-the-spot giveaway that I'm going to do. But I will have at least one, probably 2 videos that, again, I'll have a giveaway in the video, and I'll give you a few days to watch the video and enter, like this video will be one of them, okay? And so, yeah, let me get to it. Next week, I have a couple books that I'm going to be giving away, including, this is one of them. This is Fabric Painting with Cindy Walter. And yeah, it's a cool book, has a lot of great techniques. I've been reading through and answering comments, and I see that some of you are intermediate and advanced sewers. Some of you are quilters. And so I thought this would be a fun book to share. These are, yeah, I mean, this too. Like, as I try to start to make more and more interesting garments, I'm trying to incorporate more and more different techniques into the things that I'm making. So fabric painting, fabric dyeing are things that I'm going to start doing again. I used to play around with a lot of this stuff years ago when I lived in Texas, but haven't really done much in the last couple decades. And so I keep like a little sketchbook, ideas book for things that I want to do and try. And so these are some of the things that are on my list, and I'll definitely be taking you guys along with me as I do some of those things. But anyway, lovely book that I will share. Fabric painting is also a lot of fun for quilters. You know, you can basically fabric paint and over dye quilters cottons. You can create your own fabrics just from like white PDF ready fabric. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun. A lot of creativity can be expressed just by adding fabric painting to your projects. I'm gonna have, not necessarily specifically these, but I will have some pre-cuts that I'll be giving away next week. I've mentioned my fabric shop a couple times recently. It's not something that I ever really talked about a lot, especially when I launched the channel, because, you know, I didn't want this to be like a shop channel, right? This is like my channel to show you what I'm making and what I'm doing. But I realized like a lot of the things that I was making and a lot of the prints you guys were really liking were things that I actually sell in my store. So I'm never gonna be here like, you know, promoting my store to death, but I do wanna share with you guys, for those that are interested, some of the things that you can find, because a lot of the projects that I will be sharing on the channel in the future months will be using things that I carry in my store. So that way you can see what it's sewn up to look like, and you can grab it from me or anywhere. I mean, you don't have to buy it from me, but just to share that with you guys, okay? Wait, the last two things I'm gonna share, these are pretty cool. These are pretty cool. At first I was gonna give one of these away with the sewing machines, but I think I'm gonna do this as as two separate things for two separate people. So I have this, it's gonna be hard to focus. Let me open this up. This is the ultimate presser foot set. And I hope you can see this. I'll insert a picture. But you have 32 different presser feet. It's like a presser foot collection. And it works on most machines. Now that's the thing. You have to have a snap-on shank, but this one does come with the low shank snap-on adapter, so that if your machine doesn't have that snap-on foot, this is the adapter for that. So it should work for most sewing machines. And when I do the giveaway, I will try to have more information about it. It also comes with a little CD, DVD with, you know, video tutorials on how to use them. But again, you get 32 different feet and that bonus adapter. And so I love this because for a long time I sewed actually with a pretty basic machine, like for decades. And then when I got my first really nice machine, it was actually because I was doing all the sewing and selling, and I wanted to have a machine that could do more like embroidery and more decorative stitches, because that's how I like to embellish the little girls' dresses and blankets. But I still used my regular sewing machine a lot, and I had found back then that you could just buy different feet to use that. This is another tangent. I'm not going to go into the details, but I had a brick and mortar shop for a few years when we lived in Michigan, and I taught sewing classes for children, for adults. The Girl Scouts used to come in, moms groups used to come in, and you know, most people didn't have sewing machines, or if they did, they had old sewing machines. So I had sewing machines there in the store. So also because it was just easier for me to teach them on machines that really worked. Because sometimes people would bring in their old machines and it's like, your machine has all these issues and it's like affecting class time. So anyway, once I started getting into teaching them how to embellish, I actually stumbled upon these kind of kits. And so since we were using pretty basic machines, these kits were great to have in the store so that people could play around with them, do different things. And it was just a great way for them to test out things in the store before they went and bought them. I didn't sell sewing machines. We had a sew back store in town that I would send people then to. But yeah, it was just a great way for people to try out different things, and really you can do so much more with a machine if you have these different kind of feet. And then the other thing, again, because I got into quilting, and then I would use it sometimes in the children's clothes, I personally don't like that like poly cotton pre-made quilt binding that you get in the stores. I don't know, I feel like you're sewing with this gorgeous cotton, and a lot of times they only come in solid colors. And for my quilts anyway, I like to have printed fabric bindings on the quilt. And I find this bias making tool, man, you can make so much bias tape so quickly with this little kit. So this is something that I'm also going to give away next week or in the final week of September. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing these with you guys. Hopefully someone who really wants to play around with it will win it. And when I do those giveaways, I'll share a little bit more information about those. Just wanted to give y'all a sneak peek of what to look forward to. Next, let's get into my makes. I'm wearing one of them. So this is one of the dresses that I actually made this week. I did a lot of sewing this week. That's also why I'm behind in the video, because I recorded some other parts earlier, but I was just like in a sewing groove. And you know, we know as sewists, like when we get into a groove, like just stay in the groove. And so I ended up having a lot of time to sew in the evenings these past couple days, because my husband was tied up with some Zoom meetings and stuff like that. And of course, my son is off to college now. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have like all this time to myself. So I was one night I left my sewing machine at like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I was just like in such a groove. And so let me get the patterns and I'll share. You'll see me modeling all of this when I do my makes video, but I just want to show you some of the things I got done. Okay, so I forgot to mention to you guys too in my last video, that dress that I was wearing, I had made that also. Some of you may have recognized the fabric, but that was one of the Bryn McCall's dresses, McCall's 8035, that I told you guys I wanted to get in sewn up, and I had already cut it, but I actually got that sewn and I wore that in my last video. I have that here. So this is what I was wearing in that video. I love this so much. I love it so much. I did the ruffle at the hem on this one. It's so feminine and like, it just feels so lovely on. Love it. So wanted to mention that, but let me share what I made this week. I used this pattern actually over the fall winter. I made it in yellow and in blue as a part of my like fall loungewear, which I still haven't shown you guys. I have so much I still have to show you guys. But anyway, I love these dresses so much. They're just comfortable, cute little dresses. And so I had this fabric here. It was one of the fabrics I was thinking about using in the fall and winter, and I ended up not doing it because I had used those other ones. But this is a really cute kind of animal print stretch knit. I did the V-neck on this one. So I got that made. That is view F on here. So that one at the bottom. And then I wanted to have another one of these robes with the sets that I already made, the yellow and the blue. I made that dress and I made this, which is supposed to be a sweater, but I'm using it as like a house robe. I mean, again, these are meant to be worn outside, and if I wanted to, I could, but this is for me like home loungewear. And so for this cardigan, I used Simplicity 9373. And again, I showed this to you guys when I was talking about my fall winter plans last year. I'll try to link to that video in the description box. I broke them all. I did a bunch of videos during Vlogmas showing you what I plan to sew over the next, several months. But anyway, I made the long version view C. So it's the longer cardigan view A, but I did the sleeve of view C. And you guys know I've mentioned several times, I like when my cuffs aren't quite as wide, and I can fold this up if I want to, if I'm, depending on what I'm doing in the kitchen or whatever. And so this is just a basic black one. I got it all done. I just need to put the buttons on. Yeah, but it's just black, a black cotton knit that I got from Joann's. So yeah, very comfortable little set. And then I had a lot of that one animal print fabric. So I said, okay, I'll just make some more pieces. I still have more left over. I might give that away because I don't know if I want anything else made with it. But I made, which pattern did I use for that? Yeah, so this dress that I'm wearing, I used this McCall's pattern here. This is McCall's 7122. I made dress B. So you see here the cap sleeves and the shorter length. That's what I'm wearing now. And then this pattern also has these little leggings on here. And so that's actually the pattern that I used to make these. Yeah. So they're not really like tight leggings the way they look on the picture. They're looser, which is great for me. Very comfortable, just like lounge pants. And again, the fabric is just super cute. And then let me show you the final piece that I made with that fabric. Again, I made this to wear with the pants if I wanted to, or I can just put a t-shirt on with these pants, of course. But I made this top here. And again, you guys know there's that sleeve again, where it's tighter around the ankle. And this is just a basic like raglan top. And what I did with this one is I sized up 2 sizes. It's made to be kind of fitted at your waist, and it has like a little band, or it's just cropped. I made mine bigger because I want it to be like really loungy. So it's like really like drapey and loose on me, which is what I wanted. And I used this Alberta pattern. I will be remaking this so that it fits the way it's shown on the picture. So I made view B, but I left off the band. It's just a cropped shirt. But I will be remaking this. I actually have already picked the fabric that I'll use for this. I do want to make it more fitted like hers, that's shown with the band on it for like wearing out the house. But again, since this was like loungewear, I wanted it to just be straight and loose. But I love, love, love that top. I love a raglan sleeve. I love how it's tight, you know, at the wrist. And I like a loose fitting boxy shirt like that that then comes in. When, you know, again, like if it's super boxy with my figure, it can just, it's just like, it's not showing that I actually have a waist. And so I do like that little effect of it coming in and fitting more snug around the area, and you can kind of blouse it out. So this will, you will see this, so you will see this pattern again in my fall makes. I love it. It's so comfortable, but just like billowy and loose like this, oh my gosh. It's so good. It's so good. So anyway, I made those 2 with that fabric. And then I had this polka dot fabric that I picked up from Joann's that I showed you guys. I made another one of those tops again. I mean, I could totally wear this out the house. If I did, like I would wear this with my black faux leather leggings and boots. I'm gonna style that for you guys. That would be cute. Like something fitted on the bottom and this loose on top would work for me. But loose on top like this, loose on the bottom is just a lot. But I love this. I love, love, love this oversized shirt also. And you see here, comes in at the wrist. I can fold this up. Just super cute. And again, that's with that Berta. Did I even tell you the number? Berta 6098. And then the final thing I'll share is, I wanted to use up the rest of that polka dot fabric, and I could layer this like lounging around the house if I wanted to. But I made this dress to actually wear out, you know. I don't usually do polka dots, but I told you guys back then, I don't know, it was something about this big black and white polka dot. It reminded me so much of the 80s. And yeah, I went on and got it. And it's super cute on. And this is a new look. 6597. And I made view C, the one that's shown in red at the bottom. No, it's the white one. So sleeveless, shorter length. That's what I made with this black and white polka dot. It's super comfy, very retro, very cute. This with like some little kitten heels and a little patent leather purse, a little jacket on top. Cute. And so you can see everything was in black and white. Main reason why I got those sewn up is because I had them cut out and I wanted to get them sewn up so I could use my black serger thread before I switched my serger thread over to start sewing these little girl dresses. My other serger I set up with red and I didn't want to touch that because I have a bunch of red stuff that I'm going to be sewing. And so I changed the black over to white so that I could get the dresser girl dresses finished up, and then I can get the machine set up for my sewcation, which I'm going to be doing the last week in September. So if you want to sew along with me during sewcation, let me know that also in the comment section. Again, I think I'll try to go live like at least 2 times, and I'm just going to be live sewing. It could be a complete disaster. I have no idea, but I'm going to try, okay? Last week in September. So if you're going to be around, and I think what I'll do is maybe I'll do 1 session during the day, and then I'll do 1 session in the evening. Maybe I'll try to do 1 on the weekend too. I don't know. But definitely want to do that with you guys. I figured, you know, I want to go live like more. I used to want to go live on my gardening channel, and it's so nerve-wracking for me because I get caught up in the like, oh my God, I can't keep track of the comments and what are they saying? And yeah, I need to like get over all of that and just do it and have fun and not like overthink it so much. So I'm just going to do it. And if it's a complete disaster, well, you know, I know y'all will be there cheering me on. All right, what are we gonna go to next? Oh, let me quickly talk about the last 2 giveaways. So we have 2 giveaways that have ended. 2 people will win those Ginger stainless steel scissors, my favorite shears to use for dressmaking. And then I have 1 person that's going to win 7 patterns of their choice based on what I showed in my last video. I have gone in, I've done the timestamp of when the comments ended. And how I thought I was going to use the comment picker to pick the winner, that's not gonna work right now. I'm gonna save that for the end. Basically, you get like a free trial, and then if you go beyond your 5 days, they charge you 40 bucks, and I'm not gonna do that. 40 bucks a month. So what I'm going to do for these 2 giveaways, and that's why I'm going to switch and do these other giveaways live so that I don't have to like keep doing the comment picker in that way. But what I'm going to be doing is sitting down, going through all those comments. I pulled out, there are like 73 entries I know for the scissors. I don't know. I need to go in and reply. So I'm going to be going in tonight and tomorrow, replying to everyone's comments, and as I'm doing that, writing down the people who have entered to win the prizes within the time frame. And then, and maybe when I go live or my next video, they're gonna be in a bowl, and I'm gonna pull out the winners right here with you guys and announce those winners for those 2 giveaways. So next video, the giveaway winners for those last 2 will be announced, okay? You can still comment on all the old videos. Happy National Sewing Month if you want to be entered into the grand prize sewing machine giveaway at the end of the month, okay? So you can still comment. It's just the giveaway is closed for the scissors and for those free patterns. Okay, next up, let me do this fabric haul really quickly. Then we're going to move into the garden update. I have some things to share with you guys gardening wise. And then the gardening portion leads into the giveaway for this video, okay? All right, friends, so I have a quick fabric haul to share with you guys. I was just going through email late at night and saw that Fabric Mart Fabric had a Labor Day sale, and it was like about to end. It was like an hour away from midnight when it was going to end. So I just quickly went on. I had already had some stuff in my cart, and it was 60% off site-wide. So I just checked out really quickly to get that because yeah, I was excited that it was just all categories and not specific categories. And so I'm going to show you some of what I got. I got another portion that is like winter wool kind of fabrics, and that came in a separate box. I'm going to share that in a separate video. But this is these are some more kind of lightweight prints that I picked up. So again, this is like totally different for me, trying to force myself to do some things that are a little bit different. This is called an alabaster camel in black, 100% Eco Vero viscose challis. And I don't know, I just thought as a blouse, a long sleeve blouse paired with black, this could be really nice. So I grabbed 2 yards of that. Then I love any kind of ikat print. Ikat, I-K-A-T. This one has a chevron diamond design in it. It says here French wine, white, and mulberry, 100% rayon print challis. I got 5 yards of this because I was thinking about making a dress. But I love the color and I love the pattern. Here I got another challis. This is called Fiery Rose Pink, Bubblegum Pink, 100% rayon herringbone challis from a New York designer. And again, I got this with the intention of making a dress. Can you see the herringbone pattern? This is so pretty. It actually goes like this. So pretty. Next, this just looked fun. This just looked fun. This is Flamingo Pink, True Blue, White, and Black Rayon Lycra Geometric Print Jersey Knit. Again, will probably be some kind of dress. But I like the colorway. Again, very different from me. Not a floral though. I did get one floral, which is this one, but this is a paisley. I'm trying to force myself to diversify my wardrobe a little bit. This one is called Electric Red, Navy Blue, and White, 100% rayon, ornate floral scrolls print, brushed challis. And yeah, so yeah, basically I want to make more rayon flowy dresses. You guys saw the patterns that I pulled. I have those new Vogue patterns. Yeah, I have several patterns that have fuller skirts. And so I went on and took advantage because most of these I got for either 5 yards from. And if I have some extra, these are great fabrics to just make like simple camis, like the Ogden cami, or I have that last one of those blouses, that McCall's pattern that I made. That little cami would be cute in any of these rayons. So yeah, and then this last one again, I don't know. This really intrigued me. It just intrigued me. This is called a Hot Pink, Dark Emerald Green, Off-White Multi, 100% rayon abstract print challis. And same thing, I feel like this could be a really cool and interesting dress. So I snagged that. This was the end of the bolt, so it was clearly very popular. I got the last 4 yards of that. Yeah, I don't know. So I like my small little haul. I have the wools and they're thick. You guys saw some of the coat patterns that I shared in the last couple videos. I'm gonna try and use one of the wools for one of the vintage Vogue pattern coats. And then I have that new Vogue coat that I wanna do. So yeah, so I'll share those when I do my outerwear sewing plans video, okay? All right, let's head to the garden. Okay, friends, so I'm gonna bring you down and just show you some of the things I'm going to harvest today. I actually already started harvesting yesterday afternoon, did as much as I could before I had to go in, and now I'm back down here to get the rest. And I realized I should maybe show you some of the things while they're in the garden. So I have a lot of these little pumpkins to harvest. This little pumpkin plant has been so prolific. It's I think it's called a Jack Be Little, or is it? No, it's the New England pie pumpkin, I think. I can't remember, but I planted one, and yeah, I've already harvested so many pumpkins, and there are a lot more that are curing on the vine. And let me show you what they look like when they first start to grow. A lot of these pumpkins and squash are totally new to me this year, but this is one when it's first starting to grow. It's like yellow. Actually, there are two down there. There's three. I mean, I can't believe how many pumpkins this one plant is producing. But they start off really yellow, and they get to that size. See, look at all these here. These are all pumpkins, guys, and I'll show you how many I've already harvested. This vine has escaped from inside the garden and is outside the garden in these beds, which I was supposed to put flowers in, but my vine spread out into here, and I said, you know what? Oh my gosh, there are more. This is crazy how many pumpkins I'm going to get off of this one plant. And they're little pumpkins. I have some big pumpkins that I'm trying to grow too, but I wanted to put the little ones in there because they're supposed to grow faster. Like this is a bigger one hidden in here. Not quite ready to harvest yet. I still haven't come in and cut off these dying vines, but I will do that after I finish harvesting. I came out to start and I saw so much food hidden. There's another squash that I'll harvest. I think that's some kind of winter melon. And then here, this is a kind of butternut. I think it's an Italian butternut. I'm not gonna be able to say the names of any of these until I harvest everything and look back into the grow bags and match them to the pictures. But I almost accidentally harvested this early because I thought it was a summer squash. And I came to harvest it, I think I shared that with you guys, and I saw it starting to change color, and I looked back and I'm like, no, that's that long Italian butternut squash. So I have 3 of those that I've seen so far. They are massive. I mean, look at it relative to my hand. They're massive. That's going to be a lot of good food this winter. And then here, see, there's just new food starting. That's a butternut squash up there also. And then down in here, I found some new ones growing. This is, I call it my diva squash. I'm pretty sure I did harvest 2 of those too soon because I confused it with something else. Then I realized that's my diva squash. She needs to get some orange on her, and I have 2 of them. And you see here I have some leaves getting a little bit of, I think that's powdery mildew, so I'm gonna cut those off. That happens, you know, with age. Look at here, there's a Japanese pumpkin down there, another delicata. I'll harvest those 2 today, but those other ones I'm gonna leave up. And see here is one of my big pumpkins that I'm growing. Well, she's called the, it's kind of a pumpkin squash, winter squash. But she's curing on the vine. And what I'm learning is you don't harvest it until this stem, when I'm learning with the winter squash, you don't harvest it until that stem gets really hard. And that's when you harvest it. So lots to clean up. And I'll harvest what I'm supposed to harvest as I go. Pretty sure this is also a winter squash. I think I know what that is. I gotta look that up. And here's some more. Oh, I think she's ready. Yep, she's ready. She's snapping off when I touch her. So I'm gonna get her. And this is something, and you know, I always like to try to grow things that I'm not supposed to be able to grow here in my zone. These are jelly melon. This is a tropical fruit, really meant for much warmer climates. And I decided to try to grow it outdoors, and I counted at least 6 fruit so far. Actually 8. They're everywhere. But they don't get harvested until they're orange. You know, if they don't ripen before the end of the season, I will bring them inside to let them finish ripening. But I'm just leaving them out here. And hopefully they'll ripen outdoors before, you know, my season ends. See, there's another one there. There are more in there. There's a really pretty white pumpkin. The lighting. It's another beautiful melon. This is called a red curry squash. There's another red curry squash. This is all on the outside of my fence. Here's, I think, some kind of Italian butternut squash. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. This is some kind of melon. Oh, it looks like the tendril died. I'm gonna harvest that. Cut into that and see what's going on. Here's something. I don't know what happened to this plant. It got some kind of disease, it seems, because the pumpkins, the melons got all weird. So I'm gonna pull that. I don't know what happened. It was fine. It was beautiful. Maybe some kind of squash bug or something got to it. I'm new to all these kind of melons and not totally familiar with all the bugs that can be associated with them. But look at, crazy looking. I'll show you guys here. Lots more marigolds have started blooming, so that's exciting to still have some flowers that are going to help draw pollinators to the garden. More of the larger tomatoes are starting to ripen. Finally see some fruit forming on this yellow brandywine. This is a really long day variety. I put it out at the same time as a lot of these other ones, but it just seemed to take forever to grow. And then it finally put on a lot of blossoms all at once, and now those fruit are forming. So hopefully they will develop and ripen before you know, it gets cold. If not, this will definitely be one that I move into the greenhouse. It is in a grow bag, so I definitely want to see those tomatoes and try those tomatoes. This is my first year growing those. So now I know, start those even earlier indoors, and maybe keep it in the greenhouse a little longer, early in spring. A lot of my Roma tomatoes have formed, so I'm just waiting for those to ripen. Again, I have to get in here and get rid of these yucky leaves after I finish my harvest, but lots and lots of Romas. I think the Romas might be the only tomatoes that I cook into sauce this year. I think most of the other tomatoes that I want to store, I will freeze dry those or just freeze them, because I really do like the taste of like a more fresh tomato sauce, I'm finding. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. And lots more marigolds are blooming. These are French marigolds. They're so beautiful. This is a variety of marigold called Kilimanjaro White, and they are also very beautiful, and they've been blooming probably for the last month. This is one of my kale plants that I planted actually in the spring in April, and it has just been continuously producing kale all summer long. I love this variety of kale. You can see next to it, ooh, with a big grasshopper on it. I gotta deal with that thing. But that's my green turmeric growing there. I gotta go get that grasshopper. And again, here you can see lots of my bigger tomatoes have formed. I actually took some in the house yesterday already that were blushing. But I have a lot more that are still green. And again, I'll clean up the leaves and allow these to continue to ripen. I'm going to harvest all these banana peppers. Over here I have a lot of beans to harvest. That's a lot of really cool beans. These are shelling beans, so they'll stay on the vine a little longer. These are for fresh eating, so I'll harvest those to eat. And back in here I have some squash to harvest and a lot of vines that are dying that I need to clean. But first I'm going to harvest this gem here. This is a pink banana melon, so I'm excited to harvest that. And you can see here, just beans are everywhere. I'll just kind of collect them as I'm cleaning if they are for fresh eating. And again, the ones like this, which is a shelling bean, the exterior is so pretty, but I'm growing them for the bean inside, so they're going to stay in there a little longer so they can dry up, be dry beans. Yeah. All right, let me get to harvesting. Okay, friends, so I got the harvesting done. I have everything out here on the table to share with you guys. Some stuff I'm going to be taking out into the house, but the different kinds of winter squash and melons, pumpkins, are going to stay out on this table on my screen porch to cure. I got a bunch of pumpkins today. I shared with you guys the vine with the pumpkin still growing on it. I found 8 to harvest today. The cucumbers are just still out of control, and I'm here for it. I love them. A lot of the cucumbers, I mean, we eat a lot of cucumbers fresh. I do a lot of juicing, and you know, 1 glass of cucumber juice, I'll use up 2 or 3 cucumbers. But I've also been freeze drying them. They are delicious as snacks, like into little chips. So freeze dry cucumber chips, and I've been enjoying those as snacks. And then I also just chop it and freeze it, and I've been adding them to my smoothies, and I'm really looking forward to adding them to my smoothies in the winter time. So that's going to be great. Got some more pickling cucumbers, these here. This is a beautiful red curry squash. But I won't go into the varieties because this is a sewing channel. But just want to show you guys the food I harvested from my garden today. All of this food was grown from seed. So I start all my vegetables and most of my herbs. There are some herbs actually that you can't grow them from seed. You can only grow them from propagation. So there are different kinds of mints, particularly that I buy as starts, but this year I'm going to be propagating my own and keeping them growing over the winter indoors, so I don't have to buy those again next year. But otherwise, yeah, I grow everything from seed. I grow about 50 different varieties of tomatoes, tons of peppers, tons of beans, tons of squash. I just grow all the things. I really love it. This is my favorite bean, the most productive, these purple Blauhilde beans. That any kind of colored food, but especially those purple and red foods, are filled with antioxidants. So I do try to add a lot of the colorful food to my garden. These Chinese red noodle beans are delicious. These are yellow wax beans, but I grow all different varieties of beans. So I'll start to share some of my recipes and some of my preservation in little clips as I do these kind of weekly updates throughout the season for anyone who wants to see them. I grow a lot of squash. I love making soups with squash. I love roasting squash. I love baking with squash. So yeah, I'll share some of those recipes. Peppers are starting to come. Peppers, eggplants, and okra are usually the last things to come in my garden. They need a lot of heat for a long time. And so yeah, they're just starting to come. So these are some sweet banana peppers, some purple jalapenos. Yeah, lots of cherry tomatoes. And again, we're back here at the cucumbers and squash again. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek into my gardening life this weekend. All right, let's get back to some sewing, maybe a giveaway. Okay, so we're back here at the table, and I decided that today's giveaway would actually be some of this laminated cotton fabric that I carry in my Etsy store. So this, I love this fabric. It is actually 100% cotton fabric that has a thin layer of laminate on top. So you can see here, it's not thick and hard like a oilcloth or anything like that. You wash it, you hang it to dry. It's 55 inches wide, and I have a lot of prints available. So for the giveaway for this video, I'm going to give one person their choice of 2 yards of laminated cotton fabric. And after this, I'm going to do just a little slideshow of the different prints that I have available, and the winner can pick 1 yard of 2 different prints, or you can pick 1 print and get 2 yards of it. This here tablecloth is about 1.5 yards of fabric, 2 yards of fabric. But I'm going to insert some pictures. You can use this fabric for all sorts of things. I make aprons with it. You can make rain hats. You can make rain jackets. You can make tote bags. You can make purses. You can use it as lining in purses, little ditty bags, cosmetic bags. I mean, there's really a lot you can do with it. And like I said, it sews pretty similar to cotton. When I do my top stitching, I do switch to my Teflon foot. I think I'll do a little tutorial for you guys soon on using these laminated cotton fabrics, but they are fabulous, and I have a lot of really pretty prints. So yeah, I'm gonna put a slideshow of the prints available and some images of some of the things that I still have in my possession that I've made with these fabrics. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed a little peek into my garden, and as well as seeing the harvest. You can see by that harvest, I'm very busy this time of year. I basically intend to have a harvest that big, like once a week, leading up to the end of the season. This is the time of year where I've hit that like 120 days of gardening, which is almost my whole season. But a lot of the crops that I grow, like that's how long they need to grow and mature. And then since we had that heat wave and drought, some things were sped up. Like I'm harvesting them way earlier than I thought I would, but some things were definitely slowed down. Like some of it's because I put my starts out later because I didn't want them to like burn up and die when the heat wave came. So I just kept them in my trays where I could control the watering. And then some of them just, it's almost like that month of like heat and drought, they just kind of stalled a little bit. And then they just pumped out like all, like the tomato plants, they pumped out all this fruit, and now I'm just waiting for the fruit to ripen. I like to have fine ripened tomatoes. You know, a lot of people will pull their tomatoes as soon as they start blushing and let them ripen indoors. I really do like the flavor that you get from a vine ripened tomato, but I will pull in my green tomatoes at the end of the season if a frost is coming before they ripen. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on all of that. All right, so now we're gonna wrap up. As I mentioned at the end of the garden video, I have a little slideshow to show some of the laminated cotton fabrics that someone can win from this video. So I'm just gonna like put in pictures of the laminated cotton fabrics that are available. And if you want to enter to win the fabric, leave a comment below using the word garden, G-A-R-D-E-N. That's it. Just use the word garden, and I'll know that that is a commenter that wants to be entered to win the giveaway. If you're not interested in being in the giveaway for the laminated cotton fabric, but you want to enter again to win the sewing machine at the end of the month, just leave a comment that includes Happy National Sewing Month. Again, because of the nature of this giveaway, this particular prize is only for those that live within the US, because it's something that I have to mail, and I cannot mail the fabric overseas, okay? All right, so let's get into the slideshow. I'm gonna thank you now for watching, And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, if you skip through and you want to go back later to watch things, you can simply push that button that says watch later, add it to your watch later list. Well, the button says save for later or something, save. If you hit the save button, you can add it to your watch later list, and then you can come back and finish watching, okay? All right, guys, I thank you so much. Oh, and let me give you the rules for this giveaway. Jeez. I will close comments. I will allow entry of comments to win this fabric until Friday noon Central Time. So let me check the date. Friday is September 16th. So Friday, September 16th, noon Central Time, I will come in, I will look at the timestamp mark for comments. You can keep entering after that to enter the sewing machine giveaway, but I won't take any more comments to be entered into the laminated cotton giveaway, okay? All right, guys, I'll see you back here soon. Enjoy the slideshow. All right, so in addition to the green and creamy white polka dot that I just showed you in my video on my table, that print is available, and then here are the other prints that are available. Okay, so we'll start here. This is a gorgeous blue, green, and white print from Amy Butler's Lark collection. And I just want to show you here on the side how it's laminated. You see here it's 100% cotton fabric here like normal, and it has a thin layer of lamination on top. So the print is still very clear. This has a little bit of a gloss to it, but it doesn't mute the colors at all. And again, this is 54 inches wide and just so versatile. This is another Amy Butler print, gorgeous. I do have some of these same fabrics, like I have this left. I might have some of this left, but I have a lot of the coordinating cotton prints from that collection, if not these exact prints, also available in the 100% Quilters Cotton 44-inch wide fabric. So you can match those up. Here's another print, Amy Butler. Pretty sure that's the Lark collection also. This is also the Lark collection. Look, this is pretty. This came in gray and yellow also, but that sold out. This tree print is really lovely. This one here is actually from Amy Butler's husband's collection, David Butler, and this was called Parson Gray. And I have some of this in a home deck weight, like a twill, cotton twill. I have some of his prints left, but I don't have any of the Quilters cottons left. And then the final print, I'm gonna make myself something out of this soon. I love the colors here. This is also from Amy Butler. This is from her Cameo collection. And again, I don't think I have this cotton, but I have some other fabrics from her Cameo collection available. And again, these, I've made tote bags, aprons, raincoats. You can make rain hats. I mean, there's so many things, little coin purses, ditty bags. You can use them as lining in totes because you just wipe this out. So I've made beach bags where I've lined it in this fabric so you can just turn it inside out, rinse it out to get the sand and stuff out. So yeah, really versatile. So I look forward to reading all your comments. I'll be looking out for the entries. And again, this giveaway will end Friday, September 16th at noon Central Time. And at some point over the course of the next few days after that, I will announce the winner, okay? Good luck. Take care. Bye-bye.
I know you've heard it all before, but you are the love of my life. I knew when you came through the door that you are the love of my life. Nothing's hard, everything is easy with you around. everything is easy when you come around. Hold on now. I remember meeting you in a dream, thinking that's the love of my life. Most handsome man I'd ever seen. I said, you must be the love of my life. Hold on now. Nothing's hard, everything is easy with you around. No bombards, everything is easy when you come around. Hold on now. Don't let go. Don't let go of me. Don't let go. Don't let go. Nothing's hard, everything is easy.